I'm calling the regular meeting of council for July 23rd, 2026 to order at 7 p.m. If you have any electronic devices, please turn them off or put them on silent mode. And if everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Council Clerk, please take the roll call.
Council Vice President Taylor Draper.
Present.
Councilwoman Bellich.
Here.
Councilman Jarmuscavage.
Present.
Council President Klein.
Present.
Councilman Connect.
Present.
Councilwoman Miller.
Present.
Councilwoman Sebo gave her regrets.
Council President,
Council Vice
I
President.
move that we excuse Councilwoman Sebo from tonight's meeting. Second.
We have a motion from Council Vice President Taylor Draper, second from Councilwoman Bellish to excuse Councilwoman Sebo from this evening's meeting. Is there any discussion? Council Clerk, please take the roll call.
Council Vice President Taylor Draper.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bellich.
Yes.
Councilman Jarmuscavage.
Yes.
Council President Klein.
Yes.
Councilman Connect.
Yes.
Councilwoman Miller.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sebo is excused from this evening's council meeting. We also have with us this evening Mayor Hallam, Finance Director Scott, and Law Director Kenny. First item up is council correspondence. Does anyone have any questions, comments on anything listed herein? All right, we'll move in then to our first public portion, an opportunity for the public to address council concerning anything pertaining to tonight's agenda. I will open this session of public portion at 7:02 p.m.
Jen Barrow, 2890 Som. I just had a couple comments after the previous meeting. Mayor Hallam, you came in late. Mr. Valines from Classic did disclose the cell tower project. I did ask about it in a previous meeting. I feel like it's being evaded by you, and I'm just wanting you to be more transparent, because my understanding is that the neighbor directly to the south of this property is okay with the parking and the building, but she is highly upset if there's going to be a cell tower there. And I kind of read about it online, and it went back and forth in some comments, and I just think it's important, if we're going to consider all our residents, that we're very transparent and that communication is very clear. I know it is part of this project, so it should be disclosed. And you originally brought it up, and that's the only reason I knew about it, way back when this was first brought up in one of the meetings. And with that, I would still strongly, urge that we consider the parking spaces as excessive and maybe figure out a way to reduce. They could still have parking, but maybe we just need to consider the reduction of it based on the small acreage area that they're going to be granted, possibly a zoning exception. And I think that 4 acres to have almost 300 parking spots is very excessive. So I think that should really be considered. And I know in the planning and zoning meetings that was asked by you guys if there were objections by other residents, and there were quite a few at that town hall. I know we're going to have another town hall, but it's important to know how many people did object to it. There were quite a few people that did come forward and voice their concerns. And I think, them not knowing they were going to be here tonight, possibly, not everyone's looking at that agenda to know that was on the agenda tonight. They probably would have shown up. And then finally, as far as the exception for Serpentini, I know I commented on it before, and I think it's important that we understand O'Brien was there for many, many years and never had an issue with the parking. So Serpentini needs to better manage their inventory and figure it out if they're going to be here for the long term, because O'Brien was here for many, many years with the Chevy dealership and never had a problem. Thank you.
Anyone else for public portion?
Hi, Jenna Bing, 36951 Beach Hills Drive. I want to thank you for the substantive changes on ordinance 2026-039, which is the Airbnb. I think that improved it tremendously and makes it so that it's very clear who can run an Airbnb and how they can run an Airbnb, because there's a lot of stuff in there. I hope it will move through fast. I think it's a great improvement. for our ordinance, for the city to have that ordinance. I also wanted to comment, I don't remember the ordinance, but it's the financial one. And I'm really glad to see the use of our rainy day funds for the street repairs. Because if you remember, I thought it was pretty excessive how much rainy day funds we were carrying. And so I think it's a good idea if we have a very specific purpose to use them and to know that we're going to use them for that. I know I've spoken to, I don't remember who it was, somebody at the county level, and he's going to go around and talk to everybody about their rainy day funds. They're not called that, but they're called something else. And I think because he wants to make sure that people actually have a plan for them and are not just accumulating funds, which is what my concern was. So having a plan for those and knowing that we're going to use it for something that's really valuable is very good for us. And I think it's the guy that approves all this. He's our auditor, whoever that is.
Zurin?
Galloway. Yes, Galloway. So, I'm pleased that we actually are starting to have a plan for how to use it. I know that we should always have some, but it just kept growing and growing. So, thank you all.
Hi, I'm Josephine Savelli at 32101 Miller Avenue. I was here in the spring about my pool house, and I was told to come to this just to see what to do next.
So this is actually for tonight's agenda. Hang
only
tight.
for tonight.
There'll be another spot for you to talk.
Later.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry. I didn't know what you were here about. So
I'm not on the schedule. They said
That's
just
okay.
come for
It's okay. It's okay.
Anyone else for public portion?
Good evening, Mayor Hallam and members of council. My name is Greg McCarthy. My wife Karen, sitting there, and I reside at 2864 Fowler Drive, where we lived for nearly 30 years. We, along with a number of other residences, particularly those of us living near the cul-de-sac, have been suffering from
I'm
sewer-
sorry. This first public portion is related to items on the agenda.
There'll be time. That's why I just asked her to wait.
We have a second one.
There will be one that you can talk about if you need to. That's fine.
Anyone else for public portion, this public portion? All right, we will close public portion at 7:08 PM, and I will ask if anyone on the dais would like to comment on anything brought up during public portion.
Council President.
Mr. Mayor.
Just on the cell tower, I have not been evasive, actually. I didn't have any more information on it at the time, and I still don't actually have any more information on it. It is not part of the project. They have, I believe, said that they would be interested or willing to do something with us with regard to a cell tower and a reader board, I believe, but there is nothing official, there's nothing decided, and it is not part of that project. Thank you.
Council President?
Mr. Kenny.
Thank you. The reason why the mayor and I were late today to the working meeting was because we were conducting interviews with our magistrate, Larry Huberts, in the back conference room. And so we were apologizing, but the interviews ran a little late today. So nobody was ducking the early portions of the meeting.
Council President,
Councilwoman Bellish.
just an answer. I did ask about, during the presentation from Classic, I did ask about individuals that had concerns about the project. To be fair, I was being very specific, asking if there were individuals who were neighboring that project on that road, so on Sam Center, or across the street. So I know that there's been other individuals that have come forward with regard to concerns over the rezoning and changes there. I understand, but I just want to make sure that I restate that was really what I was asking for. So if I didn't get anything back from that, I'm not sure what happened at the Planning Commission meeting, but that was really what I was asking about, just so, to be fair about that. Thank you.
All right, if there are no other comments, we'll move on. We have reports. First is Mayor's report. Mayor Hallam?
Good evening. There are several important infrastructure improvements underway over the next few weeks. The Rogers Road ditch enclosure project begins on Monday. Our service department will install 6 or more catch basins and approximately 500 feet of buried storm sewer pipe, with 1 lane of traffic maintained throughout the project. Through a stormwater grant, Superintendent Grubus secured approximately $55,000 in funding, and by completing the work in-house, he saved the city an additional $70,000. He also obtained another $38,000 in grant funds to replace catch basins along Bishop Road. The purchase order for the new bucket truck has been placed, and we expect delivery within the next couple of weeks, mainly because we're not ready for it. So we can, as I mentioned earlier, get it at any time, but that's when we're planning to get it, within the next couple of weeks. Just clarification. All service department staff, along with a few firefighters, will be trained and certified on the new truck. Training typically costs about $800 per person, but thanks to Superintendent Grubus' efforts, the vendor has agreed to provide the training at no cost, saving the city roughly $8,000. Superintendent Grubus also met with ODOT to review the storm ditches that fall under their responsibility. We believe some recent flooding issues are directly related to the condition of those ditches. After their review, ODOT committed to beginning the work this week, but was delayed due to weather while completing another project. They now expect to begin work on our ditches next week, or they could show up tomorrow. I don't know for sure. If you're an art lover, I hope you had the chance to visit the exhibit at the community center. The original pieces have been refreshed with new artwork. Next time you're in the area or heading to the library, take a moment to enjoy the amazing work of our local artists. Finally, don't miss Cops and Cones next Friday, July 31st from 5 to 7 p.m. at Foster's Ice Cream. It's a great opportunity to meet with some of the officers who protect our community every day and enjoy some wonderful homemade ice cream. Before closing, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the passing of Officer Ryan Shannon, who served our community with dedication and integrity. His commitment to public safety and his compassion for the residents in all of the municipalities he served were evident in everything he did. On behalf of the city, we extend our deepest condolences to the Officer Shannon's family, friends, and his fellow officers. We are grateful for his service, and our thoughts are with all who are grieving his loss. That ends my report, and I stand open to questions.
All right, we'll move on. Next up is the Law Director's report. Mr. Kenny?
Thank you, Council President. I have no report, and I'm open for questions.
Hearing none, we'll move on. Finance Director's report. Mr. Scott?
Thank you, Council President. I do not have a report tonight, but I would be happy to answer any questions.
All right, we will then move into boards, commissions, committee reports. Do we have any this evening?
Council President,
Council Vice President?
there is no report from Planning and Zoning, Architectural Board of Review. We had no business last Thursday, so the meeting was canceled. But I stand open for any questions.
All right, do we have any other boards, commissions, committee reports?
Mr. President,
Councilman Jarmuscavage?
Recreation, the city yard sale is again going to be this weekend, or August 1st, I think it is. Yeah, 2 weeks. If you send in your send in the application and that, you can get your stuff listed in the map and drawn out and advertised what you have for sale. Also on August 15th is the Music Fest. Planning's well underway and everything's pretty well set. Still looking for volunteers to help out. You can go onto the website to find out where you can maybe help out and volunteer. If not, just come and enjoy a great day of music and food and friendship. We have 5 bands playing and a variety of food trucks and stuff serving. That's all I have for right now.
All right, if there are no other questions, one last call for boards, commissions, committee reports. All right, we will move on. Next area is unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business this evening?
Council President?
Council Vice President?
I don't mean to get the mayor off kilter here, but I know that school is starting up next month, at the end of the month, And I know you had mentioned that you spoke with the superintendent about possible ways to address the folks who speed past school buses and don't adhere to the flashing lights and things like that. Has there been any more conversation about that?
He has not shared anything more with me. We did go and talk to him about it. We shared some suggestions on how he might be able to do that. We also reiterated that they simply need to report to our officers, to our police department, if there is such an occurrence, and give us the plate number, and that will be handled. So it's kind of in their ballpark to decide how they want to handle it, but we are readily available to support them with whatever they decide, if that helps. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, if there are no other unfinished business, I do have one item. As it was explained in the Working Committee, Ordinance 2026-039, dealing with historical properties as for short-term rental, that ordinance was amended. It needs to be represented to Planning and Zoning. The intent is to take it to their first meeting next month, but as with the original, a motion was required to present the ordinance to Planning and Zoning, so we need another motion now to represent the amended ordinance to Planning and Zoning, so the chair will accept such a motion.
Mr. President,
Councilman Jarmus-Cabbage.
make a motion to reopen or reapply the motion, you said? Represent the motion to the Planning and Zoning Commission?
The ordinance.
The ordinance to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Jarmus-Cabbage, second from Councilwoman Miller, to represent ordinance 2026-039 for their consideration to Planning and Zoning. Is there any discussion? Council Clerk, please take the roll call.
Council Vice President Taylor Draper.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bellich.
Yes.
Councilman Jarmus-Cabbage.
Yes.
Council President Klein.
Yes.
Councilman Connect.
Yes.
Councilwoman Miller.
Yes.
Motion has passed. This will be represented at their first August meeting. We'll move then into first item up, next item up is a consent agenda. Now, we have one change based on based on discussions in Working Committee. We are going to remove from the consent ordinance 2026-050 on first reading. This has to do with the abatement of temporary enforcement related to the parking of Serpentini's vehicles at shops of Willoughby. That will be on as part of legislation. So at this point, the consent consists of disposition of the journal for July 9th, 2026, the regular committee meeting minutes, and the Working Committee of Council and Rules and Legislation minutes. Also, ordinance 2026-046 on first reading. Council Clerk, please read the caption.
An ordinance amending Section 1 of Ordinance Number 2026-001 to comply with state budgetary laws requiring municipalities to maintain positive account balances throughout the year, repealing conflicting legislation, and declaring an emergency.
Next is ordinance 2026-047 on first reading. Council Clerk, please read the caption.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to secure the purchase of 2 new police vehicles and declaring an emergency.
Also, ordinance 2026-048 on first reading. Council Clerk, please read the caption.
An ordinance to declare 1 city vehicle as surplus property and granting authorization to sell said surplus vehicle on the open market upon such terms and at such prices as are deemed most advantageous to the city of Willoughby Hills and declaring an emergency.
And also resolution 2026-012 on first reading. Council Clerk, please read the caption.
A resolution to declare a police weapon as surplus property and declaring an emergency.
All right. The chair will accept a motion to pass the consent.
Council President,
Councilwoman Miller.
Motion to pass the consent agenda with the amendment as presented.
Second?
We have a motion from, Council Clerk, please take the roll call.
Council Vice President Taylor Draper,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bellich,
Yes.
Councilman Jarvis Gabbage,
Yes.
Council President Klein,
Yes,
Councilman Connect,
Yes.
Councilwoman Miller.
Yes.
consent has passed. Now moving into legislation. First item is ordinance 2026-039 amended on third reading. Council Clerk, please read the caption.
An ordinance establishing Chapter 1381 of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Willoughby Hills to regulate historic properties as short-term rental facilities.
And this will remain on third reading. Next is ordinance 2026-049 on first reading. Council Clerk, please read the caption.
An ordinance permitting a land use change for parcels 31-A-013-B-00-001-0 and 002-0 located at 2594 and 2598 Som Center Road from R1 Traditional Single Family to E Research and Office in the City of Willoughby Hills.
And this will remain on first reading. Next is ordinance 2026-050 on first reading. Council Clerk, please read the caption.
An ordinance authorizing the temporary enforcement abeyance of the City of Willoughby Hills Codified Ordinance, Chapter 110302, Definitions, Chapter 1137.02D, Commercial Zoning District, Chapter 1113.02, Zoning Certificate Required, Chapter 1137.09, Outdoor Display and Storage Regulations, and Chapter 1153.13H, Improvement and Maintenance Standards, for a period of time not to exceed 6 months and declaring an emergency.
And this ordinance will remain on first reading. Next, we will move into new business. Do we have any new business this evening?
Council President,
Councilwoman Miller.
I'd like to make a motion to call an August recess.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Miller, second from Councilwoman Bellish, to call for the August recess. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Councilman Jarvis Gabbage.
we still leave open the right, if there's something comes up pending we need to meet for, we can have a meeting then.
Absolutely. Council Clerk, please take the roll call.
Council Vice President Taylor Draper,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bellich,
Yes.
Councilman Jarvis Gabbage,
Yes.
Council President Klein,
Yes,
Councilman Connect,
Yes.
Councilwoman Miller.
Yes.
motion has passed for the August recess. Next, we have our second public portion, an opportunity for the public to address council with any comments, issues, or concerns. I will open second public portion at 7:23 p.m.
This is me, right? Okay, should I say it again? Okay, I'm Josephine. I live at 32101 Miller Avenue. And I was here in the spring to look into building a pool house. And then I was told to come here and see what to do next.
This isn't discussion time, so you finish your comments.
Oh,
and
I just say what?
Yeah, perfect. You did perfect.
I think there was like two things you guys were talking about. The fact that it was in the backyard, but that's the front yard of my house, and then also the living space like on the top of it. And I don't know.
That's it.
Okay.
You're good.
Thanks.
The way public portion works, you make your comments, ask your questions,
Okay.
and then when everybody else has done the same, we close public portion, and then you'll get a response back.
Okay, so I'm done.
You're done.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else for public portion?
Try this again. Good evening, Mayor Hallam and members of council. My name is Greg McCarthy. My wife Karen, right there, and I reside at 2864 Fowler Drive, where we have lived for nearly 30 years and raised our two kids there. We, along with a number of other residences, particularly those of us living near the cul-de-sac, have been suffering from sewage and or stormwater backup for years. Some of us have spent thousands of dollars installing backflow preventers and generators to help protect our properties, and although these measures have helped, the root of the problem remains. During the storm on Monday, July 6th, 2026, the sanitary sewer system was once again seriously infiltrated with stormwater, causing sewage to back up into a number of homes on the street. The latest count of those experiencing damage was 14 homes, representing 39% of Fowler Drive. Somewhere, somehow, stormwater infiltrates and overruns the sanitary system during storms. And although the city has been aware of this for years, nothing has been done. Unfortunately, this has been going on for far too long, and as residents, we demand from the city that the problem be rectified permanently once and for all. Not only has this problem been costly, it has affected insurance coverages, property values, and presents serious health problems as well. Through the years, I have communicated with the mayor, council, service department, and city engineer to no avail. I have sent numerous emails to you all and your predecessors, reporting our problems and even suggesting ways that possibly could help in alleviating some, not all, of the water and sewage issues on Fowler, such as clearing out the east-west ditch, inspecting the lift station to ensure that it's operational during storms and downpours, and ensuring that there are no houses directing their stormwater to the sanitary sewer system. While not all of my emails have been responded to, a few have, and while I appreciated those few responses, none provided any real solutions. Again, these problems existed long before 7/6/2026. I do appreciate the mayor's efforts in contacting Commissioner Beveridge and asking for county assistance in identifying stormwater management issues and developing plans to mitigate the problem. Even so, it is interesting to note that this problem really didn't get serious attention until Lamplight and Gatsby were affected. Why that is, we can discuss it another time. I read recently that Mark Grubus has begun discussions regarding the addition of retention basins on Gatsby to help manage stormwater more effectively. Unfortunately, and not surprisingly, there was no mention of any similar plan for Fowler Drive. In addition, the News Herald reported that the city of Willoughby Hills is proposing a project near Markham Boulevard intended to improve drainage capacity, reduce flooding, and prevent backups on the south side of White Road. Again, there's no mention of any type of similar project for Fowler Drive. In closing, on behalf of the residents of Fowler Drive, I ask that you provide the same consideration given to Lamplight, Gatsby, and Markham to finally resolve the issues that have plagued our street for far too long. Think of how each of you would react if you resided on Fowler Drive and were perpetually victimized by storms and had to deal with the consequences. If you allow yourselves to do so, I believe that you would conclude that Fowler needs and deserves immediate attention and a permanent fix. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public portion?
Hi, Jenna Bing, 36951 Beach Hills Drive. I believe we got an America 250 grant, and that it was decided it was going to be, and I could be wrong on this, that we were going to have somebody record our elders and that was what the grant money was for. So I'm really curious how that's going. Did we get any participation? Who's in charge of it? Just kind of, where does that stand? Thank you.
Jen Barrow, 2890 Som. In regards to the flooding, I don't have the answers, but I guess the question is, I was hoping Pete was here, but he's not this evening. The multiple streets, we now know that these, once-in-a-lifetime storms are now a regular occurrence, and they will continue to be. It's never going to change. It's only going to get worse. My question is that my understanding, and this is where I don't know if I'm correct or not, is that many of the streets that are in discussion do not have storm lines. They have sanitary, but they don't have storm. I don't know if that's correct or not, because I don't see any drains on those streets. There's a ditch, and I guess my question is my property has paid for 20 years for an assessment that had to have storm and sanitary lines put in. So maybe a discussion would be to evaluate these streets and figure out ultimately how to put in storm lines if they're not there. And unfortunately, it would be a cost to those residents like we have paid that had been assessed, and maybe it's something that ultimately would raise their property values and prevent flooding, so the benefit would outweigh what they're dealing with now. But I think it's something Again, I don't know who I could resource that with, if it is Pete or if anyone here is aware of it and could maybe clarify to just help me, myself, as well as other residents understand. And then finally, as far as the catch basins that are being put in, who pays for that? I know there could be a grant for some of it, but if it's a direct area, you know, my understanding is that unfortunately, like sidewalks in some residential areas, you pay for what's in front of your property or what benefits you. So I'm not sure if that is coming out of, you know, money from the city, but I think it's something that, you know, who's ever affected, unfortunately, should have to pay for it because that's the cost of that area. Because I can certainly tell you, we have paid a lot of money for our assessments, while the rest of the city has not paid for that because they didn't benefit from it. So maybe now it's, you know, time for them to be assessed and looked at to help benefit them. Thank you.
Anyone else for public portion? Okay, we will close second public portion at 7:31 p.m. And I will ask if anyone on the dais has any question or answers in response to anything brought up.
Council President?
Mr. Mayor.
So regarding the pool house, I really think the next step is they are, as I recall, they're starting to talk about ADUs, which is basically your issue. So I would suggest reaching out to the chair of Planning and Zoning, the Planning Commission rather, just to find out when that's next going to be on the agenda so you can be there to give input, because they are starting to talk about that, which would resolve your issue. Accessory dwelling unit, ADU, which is basically what your issue was. The pool house wasn't the problem, it was the fact that you were going to have a complete living situation separate from your house. So yeah, that's the next thing we are working on it though. That will benefit you. Okay. Mr. McCarthy, yeah, I take exception to your implications that it had anything to do with Lamplight and Gatsby. That is just not the case. We had flooding all over the city, twice in a very short period of time. And it took, you know, I'm new to this position really, and since we've had flooding since I've been here, and I immediately started trying to get involved and find out what has been done in the past, what is going on, how can we get help. And so I would appreciate if you give me the benefit of the doubt that I am trying to help and that you work with me instead of throwing aspersions my way. I am trying to do something about it, and hopefully when the county gets involved, my intent is that they were going to look at the entire city, not even just the areas where we've had flooding, but it's coming from where they're not getting flooded. So we have to look at more than just where the flooding is happening. It's not a discussion point. I'm sorry. I'll be stick around after though. Happy to talk to you. With regard to the America's 250 grant, we did not receive that, so there is no America's 250 grant. Storm pipes, there are storm pipes. The people that were affected, Mrs. Varro are the same people that are also paying the same assessments you are. They got sewer lines put in the same time you did, so they all have assessments as well. There are storm pipes along Gatsby, for example, on both sides of the road actually, and so that's how they're going to be able to put the catch basins in. And then with regard to catch basins, that is all being handled through grants, so there will be no cost to the city or to the residents because Lake County Storm covers those. I think I got it all. Thank you.
Any other comments? All right, we'll move on then. For the good of the order, for good of the community, does anybody have anything this evening?
I have one thing.
Mr. Mayor.
I wanted to let everyone know that the Willoughby East Lake Athletic Boosters has agreed to fund putting in dugouts in Field G at the back, as well as a mound. If you remember, I mentioned earlier this year that that we worked with them. Actually, our sports league made it so that they could have the freshman baseball team have a home field here because they were really not happy with the field in Willoughby, and so the city put some time and effort into making that field something that they could play on. And in return, they are now going to put some funds into our field for us so that we can improve the field even more and make it better for anybody who's using it. So I'm excited about that partnership with Willoughby East Lake Schools. Thank you.
Anything else by anyone?
Council President?
Council Vice
I'd
President.
also like to mention to our residents here and the ones at home that on Friday, August 14th, our police department and our firefighters will be having a softball game. It's called Guns and Hoses, if you can kind of get that drift. Come out, bring your families, bring your friends. It will be a nice opportunity to see our officers in a different light and, mix and talk with them and just have a nice night. So August 14th starts at 5 and it's in the G Field. So hope you can make it.
Anything else? All right, I have a couple things. First, today is National Peanut Butter and Chocolate Day. It's also Vanilla Ice Cream Day. But if you're looking for something with more kick, tomorrow is National Tequila Day. It's also National Tell an Old Joke Day. So if you start with the tequila, I think pretty soon the old jokes will start. And the other thing, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge and wish our mayor a happy birthday. Today is the mayor's birthday.
Thank you.
And with that, the chair will accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Beller, second from Councilwoman Miller to adjourn this evening's meeting. Council Clerk, please take the roll call.
Council Vice President Taylor Draper,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bellich,
Yes.
Councilman Jarvis Gabbage,
Yes.
Council President Klein,
Yes.
Councilman Connect,
Yes.
Councilwoman Miller.
Yes.
Regular meeting of council for July 23rd, 2026 is adjourned at 7:36 p.m. Thank you for coming.